Hello everyone. I'm just gonna take a quick look at a cool kind of machine I found on an auction website here. It's called a Carmix 5.5 XL. It's a 4x4 cement mixer, and I just wanted to take some time to basically practice finding and tracking down parts and parts manuals for it, because I know that can be a pain with a lot of these sorts of things. So we're gonna look through the photos and look through the ID numbers and just see what we can figure out just right from the website here. So as you can see, it's a bit of a little mixer. It's got big old chunky tires on it. Here we've got the ID plate. So you've got the 5.5 XL. You've got the serial number Z55173. Very important. Down at the bottom, we've got the year 2006. So those all come in pretty useful for when we go to look up parts or call someone to find parts. So this is something when you're looking for speccing out a vehicle or a machine, that's the first thing you're going to want to look for is the identification plate or the number plate. Now we're going to try to find a new seat for this bad boy. Basically, we're going to try and track down a part number for this exact seat. There's a shifter and the steering wheel and all that we could too. Now this is a nice one. They took a photo of the engine serial number. So we have the engine ID plate for it's a Cummins 5.9 engine in it. Serial number 21719086. And so that is also super useful. We can use that for calling into a local dealer or whatever and giving them that. We don't even need to give them the machine information. We can call directly to a Cummins dealer and get them to find us parts. So we've just got under the chassis, the back side of the mixer unit. It looks like it's all hydraulic. They've painted the hydraulic lines here. If you ever need to replace, oh, there's another number plate there. And if you ever need to replace hydraulic lines, don't try and track down the one that is made for the machine. Go to a hydraulic shop, take them the hydraulic line, and just be like, can you make me this line, please? And thank you. And they will. And usually it's like $75, $100 for a new matched hydraulic line. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pop over to the Carmix website. We're going to see if that provides us any information. This is a new Carmix. We can see it has a different Cummins diesel engine in it. It's not a B5.9. This is something I've never heard of before. And so we're going to see if we can find, okay, just a service manual and see if a PDF pops up. Because a lot of times you just type in service manual, user manual, something like that, and a PDF will pop right up. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of free stuff online that, I mean, no shame in it. If you have access because you work for like a parts place, then obviously use that. But if you're a private person, you're, just working on your own machinery, just Google it. Nothing wrong with that. So now we're going to try specifying a little more specifically using the serial number of the machine. No VIN number, just serial numbers on these guys. So not really coming up with anything. Okay, we're going to try just a parts distributor, see if anything local comes up. Now, if you do find a local one, you're going to have to call them or go in and see them. So it was probably not a great Google search on my part, but my preference is calling people anyways. So if you have a local Carmix dealer or parts distributor, get a hold of them. First and foremost, they will be so helpful. So now we're just going to try straight VIN into Google, see what happens. A lot of times this comes up with 0, but here there looks like there's a little bit of something, 777 parts. You get some random stuff like this. Sometimes they'll They'll surprise you. There's a place called Friday Parts online. If you get a chance, check out Friday Parts. Tons of stuff on there. Super good. I accidentally put an extra period in there, but we're just going to try straight up parts lookup. And see, this is Carmix USA. And so we're going to go into here. We're going to check out, okay, what do they have for us? We've got the Carmix 3500 TC, the 5.5 XL. Okay, so I've gotten a PDF. I clicked on the 5.5 XL and it asked me to download this PDF. And we're just going to check out the specs real quick. Scrolling down, got another couple Carmixes here. 45FX. But we're back at the top. Now this guy says it is a 2018, and so obviously we're looking at 2006, 2007. That's probably not going to do it. Parts are probably going to be a lot different now. But just trying out that service manual real quick. Let's see. This is for the 2018, but you never know. Sometimes they're useful. They've got little tidbits. You can at least go in and say, this is the part I'm technically looking for. And okay, so yeah, we've gone in there, we've scrolled down, and there was a list just a second ago of all the different parts of the manual here. So one of them said cab. So I scrolled down to the cab section, because that's where a chair usually is. Lo and behold, we've got the chair. Now, again, this is for 2018, so something to keep in mind, but likely it's a chair, it'll probably fit. Something cool that you can kind of notice is everything is also in Spanish, so likely these are made in South America. It's kind of neat. So now we were able to find a part number, a Carmix part number for the seat off of that PDF. And this was a mistake on my part. I went to the wrong website, but basically you're going to want to try and find a phone number to call. Now you have the serial number and you have the part number. You're going to take that, you're going to go find a phone number to call, and you're going to call that number up, whether it's a local dealer or Carmix themselves. Don't be afraid to call the place that, like, call Genie, call Cummins, call Tadano, call the heavy equipment company that made your piece of equipment and say, hey, I have this piece of equipment, here's a serial number, and they'll be like, here's a local distributor or whatever. Now, okay, that was a little tougher. For that one, I would want to definitely call some local people. People are always nice to talk to get better information. They usually have more access. But now we're going to try and find some information on the Cummins. So you get the Cummins serial number. You go to Cummins Parts Online. It's really good cataloging that they have. And you just put in your serial number right in there. And you've got all your parts. Here I've just randomly selected. You've got an exploded view of your crankshaft with all your callouts and part numbers and everything. Here you've got an exhaust, lower exhaust system, gasket setup. So here you can select and find part numbers for all your gaskets that you need. And then if you go into your local dealer, wherever that may be, you can take in your part numbers, easy peasy, and they're like, this is what I need, please order it for me. It just makes things a lot simpler. And then that way, if you go in with your part number and you give it to them and they order it for you and you get the wrong part, you can say, oh, well, this is the part number I gave you for my machine. You did not order that part because this does not fit my machine. So it's a little bit of a credibility on your side where you can be like, no, this is what I wanted, didn't get it, sorry, man. Now here I'm just checking out the turbo, always a fun thing to check out. And they've got a nice kind of side profile view, an isometric view of the turbo and all the little parts. You've got all the gaskets and bolts and everything just below it here. And then the turbocharger kit and turbocharger themselves don't have photos, but you can still find a part number for the turbocharger. Something you got to watch is there's some part details and suppressions. Check out suppressions. We've got obsolete. 2 different part numbers that are turbochargers for this particular engine that are both obsolete. And one of the obsolete part numbers matches the current part number for this turbo, which means in theory this turbo is obsolete and they don't have a replacement one. So I don't know what's going on there, but when you call in or go into your dealer, you can say this might be obsolete, but I do need a replacement. And that's something to look out for. Now that you have your part number and your serial number and everything that you need from your manual or whatever, give Cummins a call. I highly recommend. They're very nice people, very helpful. As you can see, they have people that you can call all around the world. And so give them a call. If you're not comfortable with that, you don't have time, you can put in a request electronically, and then they should get back to you via email. So you check, your parts and give them a description. You might be able to add a photograph if you can attach a photo to your email. And then you can also sort of do an instant message sort of thing. And I think it's more of a text thing, but I really don't like that because you can't really walk away from it the same way that you can an email. And if you're on a phone, you can put them on the phone while you're driving or whatever, or while you're standing over your engine and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I've got it right in front of me. I can text you photos or whatever. So it's really nice. So yeah, and I mean, best case, get yourself a parts manual or use a manual online here. They're a little pricey, but it does make things 10 times easier if you're able to get yourself a manual that corresponds with your exact engine. It just makes things so simple. So that's a quick rundown of the Carmix 5.4 XL and how to find parts for it. It's not a 2007, it's a 2006, as we saw on that nameplate. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good one. Cheers. Hello everyone.